Hello, my friends, and check it out. I am back in the Benza Boy Club. That's right. I have another Chris Reeve knife here. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I bought a large Sebenza a while back. I don't know, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months ago. Kept it for a couple weeks and then ended up selling it because I decided it just wasn't really for me. Um, it was I'm getting a phone call. It was just not. I didn't love it. I didn't love it like I thought I would. It was a micarta inlaid version in Magna Cut. This same knife, but just larger with um, micarta inlays and Magna Cut blade. Um, but even as I sold that knife, I knew I wanted to try a small because I had never tried a small before, and I thought, you know what, maybe, just maybe, I will like the small a little bit more. Now, there was another big issue that kind of pushed me over the hump of selling my large Sebenza, and that was the fact that there is blade rock. And it wasn't a problem with my Sebenza. It's a thing with all Sebenzas, Sebenza 31s at least, where if you put enough pressure on the spine, you could feel it moving. Because the interface between the lock bar and the blade tang is actually only the detent ball. It's not nothing. No metal of this lock bar is touching the tang. You can even see the space. It's just that detent ball that's sitting on the corner of this lock bar that's touching the tang and keeping it locked up. Something about that interface allows this to move, and it does that on every Sebenza 31. If you say yours doesn't do it, you're just not pushing hard enough. You're maybe not noticing it, but they all do it. And that bothered me. I didn't like that. It's not like it's going to disengage. I don't think it would ever disengage, but it was something that was like, man, I wish it didn't do that. This one does it too, I could feel it moving. But I think I'm just going to say, you know what, whatever. It's like it's a dangerous thing. I'm just, while this might not be my favorite knife of all time, I do really like it. And I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to use it, and people say they get really smooth after like 2 years. Maybe I'll finally be able to see what that feels like, because man, this thing is stiff. Feels just as stiff as the large one. Um, it's smooth in there, but very, very stiff. So let's talk about it. This is a plain Jane version without the inlays, which I'm happy about. I wanted the plain Jane version because I wanted to get the wear and tear and kind of snail trails that come with a well-loved knife. And you can see I've carried this for about a week so far, and you can see those snail trails already appearing. This bead blast, whatever they call it, finish, does snail trail very easily. And that might bug some people. To me, that's fine. I actually kind of like the look. It looks weird to me when it's just perfect. So that's cool. It's a one-sided thumb stud. Pocket clip is the same as on the large. Works pretty good. I almost wish it didn't have this hump right here. I noticed when I put it in my pocket, it kind of wants to go up to here and then stop. And then you have to kind of push it a little harder to get past that hump up all the way to the top. But it works fine. It's pretty deep carry enough for me. These are really easy to take apart. I haven't taken this one apart yet. I probably will soon, just to kind of put more lube in there and just see what's going on. But there's a huge phosphor bronze washer. It almost goes like this full area. A lot of surface area connecting the scales and the tang in there. It's a work knife, absolutely. And it is significantly smaller than the large. I almost wish there was a medium Sebenza because I think I like this more than the large, but I could stand for it being another half-inch longer maybe or something like that, just a little bigger. It's quite small. Let's do some size comparisons so you can kind of get an idea. Let's get out a native 5 here. Kind of the same size. Little native. pair 3. Pretty much pair 3 size. Yeah. So rat 2 size. Yep, almost exactly rat 2 size. Mini beluga. Pretty close. So it's definitely small. I mean, I can get a full grip easily. I think most people will be able to. You know, I've got a little extra handle there. And, you know, these Sebenzas have a kind of an interesting choke-up area. It's not really a choke-up area, but if you want to put your finger there to prevent cardboard from slipping down into the sharpening area, you can definitely do that relatively comfortably. And I got to say, you know, overall, I like the design of the Sebenza. It's a classic look that I like. You know, I actually really like. It's a very useful blade shape. You got a lot of straight edge here, and then comes up. Not severe belly, but it comes up to meet the point. It's dropped down there. You know, it's a nice low tip. You can do utility cuts with this thing. You can slice. You got the belly when you want to kind of rock back, do some kind of more chopping motions. The hollow grind is nice and deep. The blade stock is not too thick, not too thin. Too thin's not a thing in my book, but it's not too thick. You got the blue accents. You can see the anode starting to kind of rub off there from the previous owner. I think I'm going to put a lanyard on it. I feel like the Sebenza needs to have a lanyard. Probably. I don't know. We'll see. Now, I am really happy that this one here is in S45 VN instead of MagnaCut, because I can already tell this holds an edge way better than my old one that was in MagnaCut. I was actually surprised how well this held an edge. I cut down a lot of cardboard the other day, and I went to feel the edge after I was done, and it still was sticky. Not as sticky, but way, way sharper than my old one would have been. And I use that old one a lot, so I feel like I can definitely make that judgment between the two. And that's to be expected, you know. S45VN has better edge retention than MagnaCut. You know, apparently Chris Reeve over there does their S45VN very well, because this just held an edge way better than my old one. So that's really cool. I like it. You know, it's kind of... If you don't like Chris Reeve knives, or if you haven't tried one, if you really like fall shut action and snappy detents, you might not like it. You know, I like snappy detents and I like fall shut knives, but I don't need them to be. It's definitely its own feeling. If you've never experienced a Sebenza, it's not anything like anything you've ever experienced in the knife world yet. It's just its own thing. I don't even think see. Yeah, I can. I would never open it like that, because it just takes a lot of pressure. It almost hurts your thumb a little bit. And it just feels like a knife that you should be slow rolling. It's pretty satisfying to slow roll it out and feel that nice, solid click. By where that, you know, when that heavy lock bar just pink pops over into the locked position. It's kind of satisfying. I like it. It's kind of a feeling where that is never coming undone until I push it back over. Like, it's just really solid. A couple interesting little details. The lock bar relief cutout is on the inside, which is great, so that's never going to snag on your pocket. Does not have an over travel stop. I guess the pocket clip kind of might help with that a little bit. But it's so stiff, I don't see that ever accidentally bending out. Sharpening choil is pretty good. You can see it kind of starts to thicken up right about there. See that line in the shadow? So pretty good separation there. Yeah, this is a work knife, and it's made to be used and loved. And I'm pretty happy to have one back in the collection. I really am. I still would like to try probably a small Inkosi to kind of see which I liked better between these two. Benza and in Kosi. I know they're not huge differences, but I'm still curious about it. Um, nice kind of semi-crowned spine, just typical Chris Reeve stuff. I mean, look at that stop pin. That is massive. I think that's the biggest stop pin I've ever seen. Another cool thing is the clearance between the stop pin and the tang as it's rotating around. It's very, very small. It almost seems like it's going to hit, but it doesn't. Look at that gap. It maintains that tiny gap all the way until it disappears. I think that's kind of a cool detail. The tip is all the way down where the handle ends. No wasted space, no extra handle at all. I love that. So, anyways, it's an iconic knife that I'm glad to have back in the collection. And the small, it's more manageable. It's lighter. It's a little easier to carry. The big is just big. It's pretty freaking big. And I just like this a little more. It's all the blade length I'll ever need. It's a 3-inch blade. Perfect. I don't need more than 3 inches. Even less sometimes. So I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. I'll give you guys an update, after carrying it for a little longer. And yeah, there you go. I'm back in the Benza Club. Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Like the video before you leave. See ya.